Good morning, this is Fedena Support, and today we are going to know more about our core modules in detail. We would be discussing every minor details of the core modules and all the doubts and queries that would be coming up while learning this amazing software can be discussed in after the webinar has been over. So before going into this product, I will let you know that how many users we can access using this. So how many kinds of user it can be possible in this application. Basically, there are 4 kinds of user: the admin user, the employee user, and the student user, and the parent user. The admin user, being the sole head of all kinds of privileges, will be able to use Fedena uh, um, by exploring each and every kind of facilities. Moreover, when it comes to the parent and the student, they have only a fixed set of privileges, so the privileges cannot be varied up. But when it comes to employees, the privileges of the employees can be varied up using depending upon the tasks that they have been assigned in the application. So to start up with Fedena, you need to log into your URL. For the time being, as a test instance, my URL is defaultfedena.org, and on logging on to this, I will be redirected to a page which would look something like this. The photo that you can see is actually can be replaced by your school logo from the settings part. We will discuss about how to changing about this image so that your school logo can come up as something in the login page. Then comes your way to use your credentials, where you can enter your username and password to log into the application. In a normal scenario, the username and password for the admin would be admin and admin123. For student, it would be the admission number, and the password would be admission123. And for the employee, it would be the employee number and employee number 123. Similarly, the parent of the ward can access the application using P followed by the admission number, and then the password would be P admission number 123. This is how the logins of each of the users are set up by default. Normally, at a later period, you can change the passwords of each of these employees for a security reason. Okay. Then in the then to enter the username and password, as I've said it, that we would be using the admin login for it. So I would be clicking upon admin and admin123. As I have changed my password, so I won't be able to log in. So for security purposes, the password needs to be changed, as the default password can be used by any person who can make some damage to you using your application. Then once you are logged into the application, you will be redirected to a page which will look something like this. In Fedena, we call this page as the dashboard. The dashboard is the page from where you can access any of the icons here. The admission, maybe the student details or match users, everything can be done using this dashboard. So basically speaking, the dashboard is the center part from where each of the facilities or each of the privileges in Fedena, each of the features in Fedena can be accessible. So we will be starting out with the settings part. In the settings part, net. You connect the net. Because a limited number of persons can use it. limited number of persons who can access the data at the same time.
I didn't connect. Actually, when it opens the
This current is connected. That is connected. Hello, am I audible right now? Hello? Hello everyone, am I audible right now? Okay, so as we have some kind of problems in between, so there was some kind of disturbance in the third-party software. So we would be continuing a webinar right now. So as I have mentioned in the webinar that before the break that to start up with the application, we will need to just go upon to the general settings part, and in general settings, whenever the general settings part is clicked up, you will be able to see this page. This page would basically mean that you are making the application know what your school is all about. For example, in our test instance, we have the school and college name named as Fedena Technologies Private Limited. Then the school or college address is to be mentioned. Similarly, the phone number, the basic three things for about the school are to be written over here. So next comes the thing called student attendance type. In student attendance type, we can have two things, the subject wise attendance or the daily wise attendance. If your school prefers the subject wise attendance, then you can click upon subject wise attendance. Otherwise, daily wise attendance can be opted. Then comes a financial start date or financial end date, where the current fiscal year, the year is to be entered, so that the system can know what should be the next finance rate automatically. Then comes the starting receipt number. So while using the application, you would need to generate receipts for your institution. So maybe while giving the fees receipt or while doing some kind of transactions, you would always need a receipt number. So if you are entering a receipt number for the first time, then the corresponding receipt numbers would be the auto increment value of the one that you will be entering it up here, which further means that if your receipt number is KA1, so the automatic incremented value of the subsequent receipt number should be KA2, KA3, and so on. Then comes language, time zone, and country. The corresponding languages and time zone and country is to be entered. And then comes the currency type. The currency type would mean that you need to enter whether your preferred currency is to be entered. So all of the financial transactions would be used using this particular currency type. Then comes the upload logo, where your preferred logo will be coming up in the login page, logout pages, and all the PDFs that you will be generating using the application. Then comes the network state. In network state, you need to mention whether it's an online or offline thing. Then comes the grading systems. The grading systems are to be entered: CCA, CW, and GPA. Where if your school uses CCA, CW, and GPA, these grading systems can also be included, apart from the regular one, which uses marks and grades. Then comes the thing called theme. So Fedena is available in exciting themes like orange, black, green, yellow, blue, and gray. So you can use any of the themes then. Then we have a couple of more interesting things like enable auto increment student admission number. So if you use this checked up on, then the student admission number would be the auto incremented value of the one that you will be entering it here. This would further mean that for the first student, if you are giving the admission number as S1, the subsequent students would be having an student admission number as S2, S3, and so on. Then comes this enable auto increment employee number, which further means the same thing as student admission number, auto incrementation. Then comes the enable news comment moderation. In enable news comment moderation, every comments that would be coming up by any of the recipients of the news would be filtered by the should be filtered by the admin. Only after the admin approves or rejects, then only after then the comments would be published. Then we have the enable sibling part, where you can map the sibling details, and then Sanjeev, we would be dealing up with the queries at a later part after the webinar has been finished. We would suggest you to please note down all the queries, and so that we can deal up with them at a later part. Thank you, Sajeev. Then comes the first time login change password. Whenever there is something called the first time login change password, which would mean that all the users who have using for the Fedena for the first time will be redirected to a page where they would be asked to change the password. Only after then the system would allow them to use Fedena. Then we have something called the enable Oauth, where you can integrate your Google account with them. So this is all about the settings part, which was a detailed conversion. It was just a detailed thing. Now we would be moving up to the rest of the things like add admissions, additional detail. Supposingly in your institution you would like to have some more fields, some more data regarding the students apart from the one that are available in Fedena already. So what we're supposed to do is we can create an additional settings, additional detail. Let us say admission agent or something like the passport number are not available in Fedena, and you want those to be included in Fedena. So you can enter the name there and then mention whether it should be made mandatory or not, and then the input method, whether it's text box, text area, select box, or checkbox. So based upon this, you will be asked to create your admission details. So this was all about your additional details part. Now we would be moving up to manage student category. In manage student category, we have the facility to make different categories, and this category can be made can be divided in such a way so that we can have all the students stuffed into different categories. So if we have some students in local, then we can put the students in local category, and if you have some students in non-local, we can do that in non-local category, and so on. Supposingly I want to create a category called category 1. So I need to just click upon add the name and save. So every time I will be inviting some students, I will be admitting some students, I'll be getting this option to select from. So this was all about the admission details and general settings part. Now we will move on to know how the manage course or batch would look like. In manage course, for we need to click upon new to create a new course. Then the course name, let us say that I am creating a course with the name of class 10th. You can enter the section name and then the code. The code should be something like XA, and then the batch details. The batch details can be 10th A, (2013). So having done this, you will get all the you will create a course called X class 10th with the code X and the batch B 2013. So class X and A 2013 would be the name of the batch that you will be creating up. This is how we can create the courses and batches, the courses. Now we would be swinging upon to know how the batches can be created. For the initial batch will be created of its own, then comes the batches part, the manage batches part, where we can just click upon the particular course. And if you want to add some more classes to this, we can do so by clicking upon that particular class, and on clicking upon this you will be able to see the name of the active batches that can be present here. So this is all about managing courses and batches. Now we would moving upon to know how the subjects can be assigned to each of these batches. To assign a new subject, what we can do is we can just click upon that particular batch name and keep on adding normal subjects. If you want to add a normal subject, you can click upon add normal subject, and if you want to create an elective group, then you can just name an elective group and start stuffing subjects into this. So this is how the courses and batches and subjects can be managed up. Now we would be moving up to the rest of the things of the webinar. So to start off with, we have, whenever we want to admit a student, the icon that will come into play is this one, admission. On clicking upon admission, you will be redirected to a page where you can type the name of the student and other details, so that the details will be recorded by the application. So let us say that I am creating a student with the details of, with the name Sabya. The course and batch that you have created will be entered up. So if you want to put the blood group, you can enter the blood groups. And moreover, all of the rest of the things like the category that I have created, you can just see the category 1 coming up in the list. So moreover, we have created some more categories like non-local, local, and physically handicapped. So you can also create to give some special discounts or some special particulars for these institutes. So this is how you can just go upon filling up the form, and after having done this, you can just click upon save and proceed. So the next part of, or the step 2 of admission number would be to click upon the name of, to map the siblings. So let us say that I have a sibling, the person who is getting admitted has a sibling with the name Sandeep, So on clicking upon Sandeep, Sandeep is added as a sibling to the person who is being admitted. So all the details of Sandeep, the sibling details or the parent details would be copied up to this particular person. Further, you can give the educational details and then skip this thing or skip the thing. Then comes the final process of adding up the additional details. These additional details were created from the set configuration page. You can just enter the passport number and mention whether sure not, and then save and proceed the thing. On clicking upon save and proceed, your process of completing the admission form has been created. This is how you can create the student records, and for a new admission you can just go upon and click up this. So this was all about creating admitting students. Now we will go into detail for the student details part. So let us suppose that you want to know the details of a student. You can just go upon, type the name of the student, and on clicking upon the on typing it, you will be able to get a list of all these persons who share a similar name. So on clicking upon your relevant or the one that you have been looking for, you can just go to the profile page of the person. So this is how the search of students works up. Further, we have something called the advanced search, so which would give you the list of all the students by the kind of selection that you make. Let us suppose that you want to make a list of all the students who have a B positive blood group in your institution. Then just clicking upon B positive would give you the list of all the students who have that particular blood group. So this is how the advanced search works up. Then if you click upon view all, so if you want to see the list of all students who have been in a particular batch, then you can view the students by clicking upon view all and the batch. This was all about the student details. Now we would be moving upon to the manage users part. In manage users, let us suppose that you are looking for a person, may it be the employee, may it be the parent, or may it be the employee himself. So you can just click upon the name of the person, and on clicking upon the name of the person, like I have someone called Sanjay. So Sanjay, who is a parent, Sanjay is an employee, a student, and an employee, and an employee will be available here. Then we would be moving up to the examinations part. So let us suppose that you want to create examinations. So you are done with creating of timetables and everything. Now if you want to create examinations, so you just can go to the settings part and do the relevant settings for this. So the settings part would mean that you need to go up and see the grading levels. So whenever you are making the grading levels, you have the option to make it the batch wise or the common to a batch, or you can have a specific grading level for a particular batch even. So the set of grading level that I have here as a part of testing is common to the whole institution. So every institution would be using the same grading level. Then comes the ranking level. In ranking level, you can just go to the select course and make ranking levels of the students. Let us suppose that you want to create a ranking level like passed, failed, and detailed. So you might be having some kind of criteria. So these criteria can be implemented here so that students can be differentiated into several ranks. Let us say that if you want to mark failed, so having this would mean that every student who have scored at most 40% in at least two subjects would be regarded as failed. Similarly, if you want to make passed, so a typical past rank level would look something like this. So every person who has scored more than 40% in less who has scored more than 40% uh, in at least 4 subjects would be available for a ranking level called past. So this is how the ranking levels are to be set up. Then comes the class designations. The class designations, you can put up something like the first class, second class, or third class. So this class designations will come into play when you want to make reports of all the students. So you can make the class designations of the third class who has scored above 50%, first class who has scored about 80%, and the second class. So this is how you can go up with the settings part. Once the setting is done, you are ready to go to do the exam management part. So to do the exam management, just click upon exam management, the course. Let us say that I am creating a course. I have a course called UKGB, UKG, and the batch that I have been looking up is UKGB 2013. So on clicking upon UKGB 2013, I would be able to see all the exam groups that has been created. As it is a part of testing, we have already created some. Now we can further create it. So to do so, you can just go to the new exam groups link and the exam name. Let us say I am putting the exam name as exam and you can select the exam type, whether it's marks, grades, or marks and grades. So you can just go upon and select and click save. So once you have saved this thing, you will be redirected to a page where you need to enter the maximum and minimum marks of each of the for each of the subjects. You can just type the maximum and minimum marks here. So once you have entered the marks for this thing, this would have these fields will be filled up automatically by the other thing by typing it from here. Then comes the start time and the end time. You can enter the start time and end time of the examinations, and further if you want to if you do not want to create an examination, you can just go upon and use this do not create check boxes, so that the subjects like some of the subjects like crafts and music, those who do not have an examinations, or those subjects which follow a universal or a common creation, would be available here. So after having done this, you can just go upon and click do not create. So this way you can schedule the marks of the students, schedule the examination. Having scheduled examinations, you can just publish the you can publish the examinations, and the reports can be generated that way. So now for the further exam for the test we will be creating an examinations. That's the way that we have did, like with the name of exam surprise. I will be entering some marks here. The maximum marks can be 100, the minimum marks can be put up as 40. Then the start time and end time can be entered. Further, in some of the subjects in a particular batch, you can have some of these subjects as which do not ask for an examination. So to deal with such other subjects, you can just use the last column of this, which says do not create. So whenever you will be clicking upon do not create, these examinations won't be created. for that particular subject. So on clicking upon save and changes, your examination schedule has been published, which would say that exam group created successfully. So exam surprise has been done. Now you are done with scheduling of the examinations. So the next job would be to publish the exam schedule. On clicking upon publish exam schedule, you will be able to uh, get the exam schedule messages to all of the students. Further, if you have done your SMS settings, so all the students who are related to the examinations will get an SMS saying that the exam schedule has been published. So this was all about the creation of exams. And further, when the exam schedule has been published, now it's time to enter the marks. To enter marks, you need to click upon each of the persons. As to enter marks, we can just go upon and click the marks here, then the marks of each of the students, and after entering the marks of each of the students, you can just click upon save. And similarly, all of the scores are to be updated. After updating all the scores of each of the subjects here, you can just go upon and click publish exam result. On clicking publish exam result, the exam result of the students will be published, and an SMS will be sent to all of the students if you have done the SMS settings correctly. So this was all about clicking upon the exam groups and examinations. And now we will be moving up to the rest of the examination settings, like generate reports. So once you're done with examinations, it's time to generate the reports. So to generate reports, you need to just click upon generate report, the course, and on clicking generate, all the reports be generated. Now you get a flash message which says that report generation is in queue. Click here to view the scheduled job. So this would further mean that all the heavy data transfers, whenever there is will be coming under the queuing of the jobs. So the scheduled job comes under queue. So to see whether the job has been completed or not, you can just click upon this link, which would say that your no scheduled job is selected job type, which means that the generation of reports has been completed. So this is how you can just deal up with all the queries and all the reports. So to see the list of all the reports, you can just click upon the examination and then the report center. On clicking report center, you will be able to see a variety of reports that can be generated from the module. Let it be, say, exam wise report. So if you want to see the exam wise report of all of a particular batch, so you can just click upon that particular batch here, the exam group here, and on clicking on view, you will be able to see the exam wise report of all the students in the batch. So if you want to see the exam wise result of Kusmita, so for exam 1, Kusmita has scored this many marks in the exams, and moreover, you won't be able to get, you will also be getting a graphical report of the students' mark versus the class average. So this is how your reports can be useful. Further, we have variety of reports like the subject wise reports, grouped exam reports, and all of the reports can be further seen in as per the demand of the situation. So this is how you can deal up with the reports part. Now we would moving up to the rest of the modules like the timetable. So if you want to see the timetable of the students, you need to just click upon the timetable link here from here, and on clicking timetable link from there, you would be able to see the list of all the timetables that can be generated. Let us say if you want to see the create weekdays, so you need to start off with a particular procedure to have the timetable done correctly. So first of all, you need to create the weekdays. On clicking upon create weekdays, you will be able to see the page where the weekdays are to be set. So weekdays can be made as common, and moreover they can also be made as specific to a particular batch. To do so, just click upon the particular batch and you can change the weekdays for them. So this is how you can have the weekdays set up differently for a particular batch. So if this particular batch 10B has a class on Saturday even, just click upon Saturday, and on clicking upon save, this particular batch will have Saturday as a working day too. Then comes a class set class timings. In Fedena, we need to set the class timing sets of each of the batches. So you can have a variety of class timing sets. As in a general scenario, the class timing sets of each of the class timing sets of each of the batches is quite different from each other. Then the class timings will be available here. Let us say that the class timing set is one from the one that you have seen from the list. Moreover, if you want to create a new class timing set, you can just click upon new, type the class timing set as class timing 001, and on clicking submit, you will be able to create a class timing set of your own. So once the class timing set is done, it's an empty box now. So now you need to fill something in this class timing set. So the content of the class timing set would be the class timings itself. So you can have different class timings like 9:30 to 10:30, 10:30 to 11:30, and so on. So if your school starts up from 7:30 in the morning, so 7:30 April 8:30, which is the first period, and obviously this is not a break, so we won't be using this up, and on clicking upon save, my class timing set would be created. Similarly, you can create the rest of the class timings, and now when you have created class timings, you need to assign these class timings to a particular batch. So to assign class timing to a particular batch, you can just go upon to this set class timings part here. Just click upon the class timing that you have created and assign it to the batch that you want to assign. So let us say this is the batch that I want to assign, and I need to click upon this, which would further mean that 10/8/2013 has been assigned the class timing set as class timing 0001. So whenever I will be going to create a timetable for class 10/8/2013, I would be able to see the class timing set that I have created just now as per this class timing 0001. So this is how you can just set the class timings of all the students, of all the batches, sorry. Then comes the work allotment part. In work allotment, you have the option to assign a particular teacher a particular subject. Let us say that you have a subject called, the select maths, and this maths can be given up to any of the employees that you have in your institution. So whenever you will be clicking upon that particular person and clicking upon update, Sanju will be assigned for maths for that particular batch. So you are allotting the works of your students, of your employees in this work allotment part. So having done the work allotment, now we are ready to create a new timetable for our batch. To create a new timetable for our batch, all we need to do is just go to the start date. Let us say the start date is 1 to 5 November. So I need to mention the dates of the timetable that I would be creating, and now clicking upon create, my timetable would be created. But please note that a timetable cannot be overlapped, so whenever you want to create a timetable for 1 to 5 for your batch, then you can just click upon 1 to 5 and click in. So as we have done the class timing set of this particular batch, so whenever we want to create a timetable, you need to just create the date span and then the batch, and on clicking upon the batch, you will be asked to select the subject, and then you have a variety of options here. So let us say that if you want to create a, if you want to assign an Anthony who teaches maths for for the first period, then you can do so. For the first half, then you can do so by clicking upon his name and dragging up. So now whenever there's a class of 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. for the particular time, for this time span, he would be able, Anthony is allotted for that particular class. Similarly, if you want to assign multiple, you can always do so by clicking upon that particular subject, clicking upon the name of the employee, and this way everyone will be you will be able to assign the timetables wisely. So this is how the timetable is to be created. Then comes the edit timetable. Supposingly, if you want to edit a timetable that you have created just now, so you can just go to that particular timetable, click upon the edit entries part, select the batch, and then you can edit the entries. Supposingly, if you at the time of editing or the time of creating a batch, you come to know that there are not enough employees in the particular in this particular subject or for this particular subject. So you can go to the employee subject association part, where we map the employees to a particular batch and to a particular subject. Let us say that if selecting a batch called UKGB 2013 and the subject called maths or Hindi, so you need to just select the batch in the subject and assign. So to click upon clicking upon assign would assign in the batch, you would assign the teacher Dorothy to the batch UKGB 2013 for the subject Hindi. So this way you are mapping the batch, subject and the employee. So that's why we call this thing as the employee subject association. So this thing is to be done if you do not have enough teachers in your batch to teach a particular subject. So you can even view the timetable just the way you have edited it. Then there's a thing called the teacher's timetable. To see a teacher's timetable, you need to just click upon that particular date here, and on clicking upon date you will be able to see that this is the timetable of the teacher. So Anthony sir has been allotted the classes of Monday Maths UKG 2013, but when it comes to Stella, she has been allotted 3 classes for Monday, Wednesday and Thursday respectively. This is how the teacher's timetable can be viewed up, and this completes the timetable module of the application. Then comes the attendance part. In our institution, the main part of the thing is obviously student attendance. So we need to mark the student as absent or present at times. So to do so, we need to just click upon the attendance register, and the batch, as we have opted for the subject was attendance, so we will be asked to put the subject attendance. And then if you want to mark someone as absent, here's the date 28 and the day. So let us say that for the day 28, you want to mark Abhishek is absent, then you can just click upon the particular content. Name the batch, and the day and the reason for which he is absent. Let us say I am putting the reason as fever, and clicking upon add and OK. Jankiram will be marked as absent for the subject maths for Monday. So this is how you can mark the attendance of the students. Then comes the attendance report. In attendance report, you can just go to the select batch here, UKG 2013, and the subject. So if you, and the mode, whether it's an overall mode or a monthly mode. So this way you will be able to see the attendance report of your students for a batch, for a subject. And furthermore, we have something called the filter, where you can filter the persons who have scored a certain, who has scored a certain percentage of attendance. So this is how the attendance can be dealt up smartly. Then comes the human resources and finance. The human resources, being a very important part of any institution, would be, should be dealt smartly. So to start off with the HR management, we need to click upon the settings part and add the add the relevant details like add employee category and add employee position. To add the employee category, you need to just go upon the employee category part, type the name of the category like category 1, prefix as cat1, and clicking upon create, this would be created. Then comes the employee position. So you need to add the positions like the post 1, as I'm creating a position called post 1 in the category that I've just created, cat 1, and now clicking upon create, the thing would be created. So this way you can make the different the rest of the settings like add employee department. You need to add the department of the employees. Like we can have several departments like academics, hostel, physics, security, and sports. You can add a department code for each of these departments. Then the add employee grade. An employee can have a particular grade, so you need to enter the grade and the priority and the maximum periods per day that can be allotted to him, and the maximum periods per week that can be allotted to a person who has that particular grade. Then comes the payroll category. In payroll category, you can create different categories like the basic pay, the category 1, the category DA, and all. So you can, to create a new category or a new payroll category, you can just go to the category name. Let us say that I want to create a new category with the name of Diwali bonus, and the percentage that is to be will be 15% of basic pay. And obviously this is not a deduction, so I won't be checking this box here, and I'm clicking upon create. Diwali bonus will be created for each of my employees, which is 15% of the basic pay. Supposingly if you want to create a deduction, deductions can be some, in an obvious case it can be something like the GPF, insurance and provident fund. So you can enter these things as deductions. And then the bank detail. You might need the bank detail of the employee, so you can create some fields like bank account number and bank name, which will help you to enter the bank details of the employees. Then comes the additional detail, which is similar to the additional detail that we have created for the students itself. So having done all the settings, now we are ready to go to the employee management part. To click upon employee management, we need to go to the employee admission, and we will be getting two options: the employee admission and the employee salary association. Employee salary association is same as the one that we have already mentioned, like we map these employees with the different subjects, and then the and then we need to go upon to the employee admission part. To go upon employee admission part, you just need to click upon this and start filling the form. Now I'm adding the employees. Let us say that I am creating an employee with the name of Sumanta, and the date of birth is to be entered, and the department, the position, the grade, and the rest of details can be skipped out as they are not mandatory, but we recommend you to fill up all these things like this personal details, the settings of biometric ID, and the user photo and all. On clicking upon save and proceed, you will be redirected to the step 2. In step 2, you need to fill up the home address and the office address of the employees and the contact details. And on clicking upon save and proceed, you will be asked to enter the bank details. So you can enter the bank detail of the employee, which comes under step 3, and the additional details, and save and proceed would redirect to a page which is the most important part of employee admission. In employee admission, every kind of a particular employee can have different kinds of privileges. Let us say that a person can have access to the library, and someone else can have the access to the examination control and all. So based upon the task that is assigned to him, you can just assign the privileges, so that person would be available to use only a particular fragment of the application and not all of them. But if you want to give a particular every kind of facilities for all of your employees, then you can just select upon all the options available here, and this person would be able to use every part of the application. So now the step 5 would mean that you need to enter the reporting manager of your employee. Let us say that you want to enter the reporting manager like search by name. So I am entering a name, Surya Kumari. So Surya Kumari would be assigned as the reporting manager of that particular person. Please do remember that a person cannot be allotted on leave or on holiday until and unless the reporting manager of that employee has been selected. So the selecting of reporting manager is really important for the part of the employee. Then comes the basic pay. So every part of the payroll category that I have created in this test instance is related to the basic pay. Just like the way that I created Diwali bonus, the rest of the things has been created. So once I type the basic pay as 12,000, the rest of the things will be calculated automatically. On clicking upon finish, your employee with the concerned profile has been created. So this is how you can just go upon and click and create another employee for admission. Then comes the employee leave management. So you can even add your leave types and your attendance register and click upon the attendance report and reset the leaves. You can have a variety of leave types like the casual leave, earned leave and all. Then the attendance register would mean that you need to have you need to see the register of your department. Let us say you are seeing the register for this particular month. So, and if you want to mark a person as absent, then you can do so by clicking upon that particular cell, and the current day's timetable will be highlighted in yellow. Selecting the leave type as casual leave, I can mark this person as absent. Moreover, teachers can also apply for a leave, and if the leave has been approved, the teachers will be marked as absent here. Then the attendance report and the reset leave can be done. Now if you want to create a payslip of a particular employee, this you need to select the particular employee and select the department, go upon to the particular employee name and add the relevant details. So this way I can add the payslips of different employees, and then I can reject the employees also. Let us say that somebody who has been getting an sample payslip from the HR department, but the person who is in charge of the accounts or the finance has rejected somebody's payslip, then that can be done by clicking upon rejected payslips, and for the further editing of the payslip and would allow the accounts or the finance person to approve the payslip. Then furthermore, if you want to generate the payslip of all the employees at a go, then you can use a one-click payslip generator from here, the salary date, and furthermore if you want to revert the same, you can just use this button here. This is how the payslips can be created and generated. Then comes the employee search. If you want to see the employee or name of the employee, just click upon the name of the employee and you will be able to know which department and which ID the person has. So further on clicking the person's name, you will be redirected to his profile page. So this is how the HR part works. Now we would quickly move upon to the finance part. In finance, we can have a lot of things like fees, category and all. So we would be moving upon to the fees part first of all. So clicking upon fees, you will be able to see these many options where you need to create your fees, schedule fee collections, collect the fees, and fee structures are to be done. So let us say that I want to create a fees with the category called MQuery, and I've named the master category as MQuery, and the one to which this master category must be affected is UKGP 2013. So on clicking upon save, I have created an empty category for a particular batch. So having created this category, now it's time to stuff some particulars into this category. So to stuff some particulars into this category, I need to just click upon create particulars. And the name of the category is to be selected from here, and then the particulars to be entered. These particulars can be given up by using three kinds of things, like if you want this to be common to all, you can just click upon all. If you want to use the admission number, you can use the admission number, and then the student category. So if you want to have a special particular for a student for a particular student category, then you can just click upon student category and mention the category to which this is to be taken into effect, and then that particular category of students will be having a separate particular and not the one and which will be quite different from the one which who are not under this category. Let us say that I am creating a category called tuition fees, and the description I can put it something else. Now for the time being I am using the all part here, and then 100. So every time a person sees this MQuery UKSB 2013 category, he would be able to see that a category that a particular of 100 has been created. So to further inspect the thing, we can just go to this part of the application and see it from here. Just select the name of the batch, and selecting the batch you will be able to see what all categories has been created for that particular batch. So the one that we have created here is MQuery 2013 MQuery. So on clicking upon MQuery, this is a list of particulars that has been done. Further, if you want to create a particular for a student category, you can always do so. This is how you can create different particulars. And now if you want to create some discount for the particular category, then you can just go to the discount type here, type the name of the discount here, and the fee category to which this is to be applicable, and then the discount. You can use the percent or amount mode, and on clicking on create, the whole batch will get a discount of 10%. This is how you can deal up with the creation of fees. Now having created the fees, now you need to set some dates to which this particular fees has to be affected. So you need to go to the create fee collection here, type the name of the collection, type the name of the collection, like I am creating the Square or November collection, and on clicking upon create, the fee collection for this has been created. Furthermore, whenever you're creating this any kind of fee collection, this would be available in the calendar of today of the day. So for today's date 24, I have a fee collection due as November collection 2000 November collection. So this would be available here. Moreover, a particular day's timetable, a particular day's schedule can be seen up by using this. Supposing if you have some examinations from here, so just hovering upon this button will give you the examination details of today. So on clicking upon UKSB 2013, the batch, you will be able to see all the fee collection dates that are available for that particular batch. So this is how the fee collection can be created and viewed up. Now whenever a person wants to submit the fees, then he can just go to the fee submit and fee submission by course. Whether the person wants to submit the fee submission course wise, then he can do so by clicking upon that particular course. The course can be UKSB 2013, and then the fee collection date, and we print the receipt and pay the fees. So this is how the fees for a particular batch can be paid up. Then comes the fee submission for each student. So let us say that if your school doesn't have a particular fashion of entering the fees, then you can just go upon and type the name of the person to which this is to be affected, and then on clicking upon Sandeep, you will be asked to enter the fee collection to which you want to enter the money, and then you'll be redirected to a page where you can see the fee, where you will be able to pay the fees of the student. So this is how the fee submission can be done for each of the students. Then comes the fee defaulters. So if you want to see the list of all the persons who are defaulters for a particular fee collection date, then you can just go upon the particular course, the batch is to be entered, and the fee collection date, and on clicking upon pay fees, this would be available to pay. So this is how a sample pay fees would really look like. So this completes the finance module, sorry, the fees part of the finance module. Now we need to go and explore what all the things are there in the rest of the finance module. In finance module, we have something called the category. In your school, you can have several different finance categories. So to have several different finance categories, you can have something like the donation, the fees, the hostel, the instant fees, and inventory, and library, and salary. So these are the ones that are already created one. So if you want to create some user-defined finance category, you can just click upon the create finance category and enter the relevant details and mention whether this comes under income or an expenditure. If this comes under income, you can just click upon income, or whether if it's an expense, then you can just leave without attending the checkbox. So this is how you can just create your finance category. Then come the transactions. So the transaction part will help you to manage all your incomes and expenses. If you want to add an expense, you can just click upon add expense, title of the expense, whether it's a name of the expenses to be entered, and the category to which it comes under. Let us say that I am creating an expense with the name of expense or purchase of some goods, and this comes under the inventory part. And on clicking upon save, you will be able to see all the expenses for that particular date. So this is the expenses with the voucher number 105 and the amount 12,000, and the transaction date is today's date. So this is how you can manage your expenses and incomes. If you want to add an income, you can do it the similar way. Then we have something called the report. So if you want to see the report of all the transactions that has taken place for a particular time period, so you can just click upon the particular name, and on clicking display report, you will be able to see the complete expenses and income that has taken place over a particular time frame. So moreover, this report that you will be seeing won't only be just the statistical report, but you will also be getting a graphical report of the same. Then if you want to compare the transactions, you can just compare the transactions like this. So if you want to compare the transactions for two different periods, like let us say that I want to see the transactions of the first half with that of a date of the second half, then I just need to just go upon to the particular date, enter it correctly, and get the report. So this would give me the statistical as well as the graphical comparison of all the expenses that has taken place for these two different periods. So this was all about the transactions of the day. Now coming back to the rest part of the finance module, you can generate some kinds of donations. So if you have a list of donations or donors for your institution, you can just add the name of the donor here, and the description and the amount donated, and clicking upon create, you will be able to see that the donation has been added. This is how you can deal up with the donations part. The automatic transactions can be dealt up. Then the pay slip, the employee pay slips, like if you want to view the pay slip or if you want to approve the pay slip at a go, you can always do so. Like, let us say that if you want to approve the pay slip of a particular employee that you have rejected it earlier, then you can just go to that particular person, view it. So the person whose salary has been rejected can be like the ones here called Stella. You can just see the rejected report. So this is how the payslip can be dealt up by the person who is in charge of the account. And if you want to approve the payslip of all the employees, then you can just select the month here, and on clicking upon approve, the one payslip will be approved of all the employees. So this is all about the finance module. Further add-on modules like the blog and library module, we will be covering it on some other day. Now we will be looking upon some fewer but quite important and interesting part of the settings, like the SMS module. Let us say that if you have created some kind of SMS accounts for your institution and you want to use this in is so you can use this using our SaaS using the SaaS account, and you can use the same settings. And having set up the same settings, now you can make a list of general SMS settings here, like the whether if you want to use it for student admission or exam schedule or attendance or events. Any of these settings are to be done before using the SMS module. We want to send the SMS to students, you can just click upon send SMS to students, and SMS would be going up to the student of your choice from the batch. So if I have the number correct of the particular employee and I have the correct SMS settings, I would be getting an SMS. I would be sending an SMS to the person I have clicked up. Then if you want to send SMS to the whole batch, you need to select the batch and type the SMS, and the whole batch will be getting the SMS that you have typed up. Say the same thing goes with the send SMS to employees and SMS to departments. But at some frame of time, if you want to send SMS to all the users in your institution, then just click upon send SMS to all, and you will be able to send SMS to all the persons in your institution. So this is a box where you need to type it up, and on clicking send SMS, you will send an SMS to your students. Moreover, please do remember that these SMS settings are to be done from your SaaS version prior to using this kind of SMS settings. And these settings of your account of your SMS would be given up by some third-party vendor, and this is to be filled up. This is to filled up in the SaaS version, in your SaaS account. Now if you want to see the academic calendar of the thing, then you can just go to calendar, and on clicking upon calendar, you will be able to see what all dates or what all things has been done, has been scheduled for a particular month. So if you are interested in the month of October 2013, you can just go to October 2013 and click and see what all things has been done. So as per the current scenario that we have, today is 24 October 2013, and this date would have two main events, like the examination for BTech CSE first semester, and for the batches like UKSB 2013, and Today is also the fee dues date as per the November collection fee dues. Then we have something called the news. So if you want to create a news which should be common to the entire institution, you can add a news, give it a title and the content, and publish the news. Then comes event creation. So if you want to create an event for your institution like the annual function and all, this can be mentioned to all the students, to all the employees. So moreover, if the event is common to all, you can just click upon event common to all, and if it's an holiday, you can just click upon it's a holiday and use it. Moreover, every news that you would be putting up here would be available in the dashboard, so that the top or the latest 3 news will be showing up in this dashboard. So this is all about how Fedena can be used up in nutshell. So we will be going up to the rest of the features in our other subsequent webinars. So now we can deal up with the queries one by one. Please put forward your queries.